Good morning, everyone. Today is August 30th, the last Sunday in the month of August, and our last service for the month of August. I will be doing an abbreviated version of our regular services, and I'd like to begin with the chanting of the Ju-Se-Ye. Nam-man-dabas, 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 nam-man-dabas. 사츠머리아증여 아검처생안 이심의자도 시간품안석 세부저셔각 아오머려거 의다이세슈 의사이셔뱅그 세부저셔각 아시저부츠도 묘셔저지보 극염이셔몬 세부저셔각 리역진셔넨 저외슈봉여 시급어저도 이셔텐닌시 진리기엔다이코 부셔무사이도 셔저상금여 고사이슈야크난 가이지에겐 메시건너한 에이서그셔와크도 스다츠센슈몬 거서저만석 이여러제보 니지가츠슈즈기 댕거엄브겐 이슈카이호소 거세그덕호 저오다이슈즈 세포시시그 그여이사이붓 그서그슈덕한 난내시츠저만 덕의상가여 여부츠무게지 스나츠미부셔 강가그에릭 도시사이셔선 시간야고가 나이세노간도 거그쇼텐닌 더우진역에 나만나 Namandam, 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 namandam. Thank you very much, everyone. I'd like to ask you to please join me in Gasho. Amida Buddha welcomes those who at the upper limit spend their entire lives in the Nembutsu, and also those who say it but 10 or 3 or 5 times. This Amida accomplishes directly with his universal vow, which is replete with compassion. The foolish being, when he thinks on Amida, is immediately brought to the attainment of birth. Nam-mandavas, nam-mandavas, nam-mandavas. Once again, good morning, everyone. I hope this message finds you all healthy and all safe. It is surely unprecedented times with the COVID-19 epidemic, wildfires, hurricanes, tornadoes. It certainly is a very scary, scary time. There is a saying that everyone is familiar with. If we don't know history, we are doomed to repeat it. So if history is a lesson, we have drifted further and further away from the lessons that it teaches us. So let's look back at the time of the Buddha, 2,500 years ago. People were angry because they felt the government wasn't doing enough to help them. People experienced jealousy between husbands and wives. Children and parents fought. There was hatred and people lashed out at others for their actions, and they blamed others for their misfortunes. There was great sorrow at these events occurring around them. Poverty, thieves, murders, and those with no concern for human life. People felt helpless about the events occurring around them. Into this world the Buddha appeared and taught the way to end suffering. He could not stop the wars, he could not stop the hatred or the murders, but he taught people the way to end the suffering caused from within ourselves. He also created a way for us, years later, to be saved from our own self-created sufferings. The Buddha created rules called Vinaya to help create a community known as a Sangha, where conditions were right for eliminating those sufferings. As the years went by, after the Buddha had died, within that Sangha arose jealousy, hatred, anger, and envy. 1,500 years later, in Kyoto, Japan, things hadn't changed that much. There was anger at the government, which was corrupt, overtaxing the people. This caused starvation. It created anger and unrest. Bands of terrorists were killing, raping, and causing havoc everywhere. And the poor and the innocent were suffering. People lost trust in others. Hatred was felt. And not knowing where to place blame, people pointed the fingers at others and blamed each other. It was very sorrowful, and there was a sense of helplessness. Born into this era was Shinran Shonin, who taught people the way to find peace of mind in the Buddha's vow of Nembutsu. 800 years later, things haven't changed that much. We are experiencing a distrust in government. Black lives don't seem to matter. Children are being held in cages on our southern borders. We're still embroiled in a war. Mother Nature seems angry at what we're doing to our planet. And we're suffering the results of COVID-19 pandemic. The same helplessness, anxiety, and suffering during Shakyamuni's time and Shinran's time is being experienced by us here and now. And their teachings still apply here and now. We seek joy and peace of mind. and they can be found amidst the terror and sorrow and helplessness of the world. We are called foolish beings because we think and we feel and we believe that we have the power to overcome all of this in our own way, on our own. The events surrounding us now are a lesson of the difficulty of overcoming something that we cannot control. Over the many centuries since the time of Buddha and Shinran, conditions continue as they were before. And over the centuries, millions have turned to the Nembutsu, to this teaching of salvation. And only faith in Amida Buddha and the Nembutsu can save us from a world that seems to have gone crazy. This is history's lesson for us today. I hope you will think about the Nembutsu in your life. Thank you for listening to me. Please, once again, join me in Gasho as I share with you, once again, my opening reading. Amida Buddha welcomes those who, at the upper limit, spend their entire lives in the Nembutsu, and also those who say it but 10 or 3 or 5 times. This Amida accomplishes directly with his universal vow, which is replicate with compassion. The foolish being, when he thinks on Amida, is immediately brought to the attainment of birth. Namo Amida Butsu, 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 Namo Amida Butsu. Thank you very much for listening today. I hope that you'll tune in to our YouTube sites in 2 weeks when we will conduct our Watsonville Buddhist Temple Shotsuki Hoyo and Ohigan service 2 weeks from today, September 13th. Thank you very much. Nam Mandams, Nam Mandams. Nam Mandams, Nam Mandams, Nam Mandams.